Hmm. We have a dog joining us today. All right. So it's so good to meet with you guys, to do this practice. Right now, the theme that we've been working with these past couple of weeks is simplicity. And I had all these different things kind of coming through my mind of like, oh, I could do this or I could do that. And I'm like, wait a second, this is simplicity. Why do I have like 50 million things bouncing through my head? It's just one of those things that's like all the stuff just wants to kind of pile in there. Like we were talking last time about emptying out, of just making space, emptying, emptying, emptying. And another way of considering this idea of simplicity is having one thing rather than 50 million different things. And I don't know if you're like me, it's like I usually am like thinking 50 million different things, and then I'm feeling this over there, but then I'm actually doing this thing over here that I have to get done. And I feel like I'm just like multitasking extraordinaire, and that just doesn't work so great sometimes. And so the other idea of simplicity is this idea of coherence. And coherence is where everything is in alignment. It's like it's all coherent, it's all in alignment, it's all one thing. And we use this in our language of, somebody's like completely hysterical. They're like, oh, they're incoherent. You just can't understand. They're not making any sense. They are actually scattered. And that feeling is very familiar. That's that sense of incoherence. There's like this, not that sense of alignment where everything is just one thing. And people can experience this sense of coherence very differently. Like for me, it's when everything is in this like really coherent place, it feels almost like this crystalline structure. It's like everything, all the molecules are just perfectly aligned. And there's almost this like ding, there's just this feeling of sound where there's just a resonance, just a note that can just ring. I've had another person describe it as if it's like a light that turns into a laser beam. It's like all of the diffuse light just narrows and narrows and narrows down into just one beam. It's just like a laser light beam. And these are different ways of taking something that is incoherent, just diffuse light. And when it is all in a particular structure, it becomes a laser. And we can feel that internally. It's like when all of the scattered actually becomes coherent, there can feel like this just utter crystalline here. Everything is just right here in this moment. And it has a very sharp, alert, aware feeling to it. And so as I was kind of playing with this, it's like I actually want to do a guided meditation with you guys today. It's one I don't normally do. We usually just kind of like open exploration. I want to do a guided meditation. And even so, though, it's like as I'm working through this, as we're going through it, there still is that mindfulness approach that says whatever is here is welcome. So as I'm guiding you through this visualization and you're like, not there, not at all, I'm experiencing something totally different, that's okay. You simply notice that. You notice where we're going, you notice where you're going, you notice where your mind wants to wander, bring it back to the breath, that returning over and over and over again, that noticing what's happening is the practice, whatever the happening happens to be. So if you end up in this place of really deep coherence, yay. If you go through the practice and you're like, I'm so incoherent, there is just nothing else. You're like, okay, yay, I notice I'm in a place of incoherence. That's the noticing. So with that, we'll go ahead and begin our practice. So getting comfortable, taking a moment even to, rock in your seat, Find that perfect place of balance, somewhere where your body can settle. You don't have to hold it up. You don't have to work hard. Where there's just a little bit of ease in your sitting posture today. Maybe even just taking a moment to notice sitting. Feeling your head above your shoulders, above your hips, above your legs. Perhaps your feet are on the floor. Noticing if you're leaning too far forward or so far back, and just that place of right here. Again, just coming back to the sensation of what is it like to be right here in this position. And then from here, tuning into the breath. And beginning to notice the air there at your nose as you breathe. Nose back into your throat, down into the chest. Feeling the ribs expand and contract as you breathe. And even noticing, where your thoughts want to jump to, where you normally try to focus, or where you try to skip ahead or go do something else. Just simply notice that. And then again, that sense, can you be right here in this inhale, in this exhale. Feeling your back as you breathe. Maybe noticing your shoulder blades. They move up and down. Perhaps that middle of the back, whether there's a little bit of a widening right there with the inhale. Noticing the lower part of your back as the diaphragm pulls down and the breath fills. Feeling those lower ribs expand out to the sides. And feeling the rhythm of your breath flowing from your nose through your throat, through your chest down into your belly, and then exhaling from your belly, through your chest, through your throat, all the way out your nose. Maybe even hearing the sound of your breath, that slight little whooshing sound on your inhale and your exhale. Sometimes it even sounds like waves as the waves pull back in and crash and rush up the shore. Noticing where your mind wants to go as you breathe. And then you just gently bring it back. Right here, right to this breath, right here in this moment. There's nothing beyond, just right here, this one thing. And before we begin our guided meditation, checking in, seeing where your body, your thoughts, your emotions are right now. So scanning through your body, noticing the physical sensations. Just taking inventory. Seeing all the physical sensations that are present here in this moment. And from there, notice the thinking, what you're thinking about, where your mind wants to jump to, whether it's easy to stay focused on your breath or difficult today. Nothing to change or fix. There's no right or wrong. Just simply noticing thinking. Just that awareness, just watching whatever it might be doing. And then moving off into noticing the emotions. What emotions are present right now? You could even play with noticing, how those emotions are showing up too. Sometimes they feel right front and center. Sometimes they feel very vague and out way up at the periphery, barely noticing them. Sometimes there are a lot of different emotions. Sometimes it feels like there's nothing there. And whatever is there, it's all okay. And so that check in, your breath, your body, the thoughts, the emotions. And then from here, beginning to imagine that you have like this golden ball of light right above your head. Just kind of noticing there. You can see it, or you can kind of feel its warmth. Sometimes you can even start to feel the top of your head tingling a little bit. It's almost like I like to think of it as like a lint brush. It kind of just like picks up all the static. This golden ball of light, just right there. And it slowly sinks into your head, fills your head, fills your eyes, just soaking up all the thinking. Just a warm, gentle light. And just kind of pulls it all out, pulls it down, soaking it up. From there, dropping down into the throat, feeling the warm light, just filling the throat. And again, just taking any of the sensations, little twitches, Just like a little lint brush, just kind of brushing them off and down, collecting it all up. And then it flows down into the chest, filling the chest, the rib cage, the heart, the lungs. And it expands way out. Just pulling down, just collecting all that's there, pulling it down. Feeling your body release all of its holding there in the chest. And it drops down into your solar plexus, to your stomach, to your abdomen. Noticing all that it's soaking up right there. Whether it's emotions or actions or sensations or thoughts even. Just soaking it all up. And then it continues down your legs. And this golden stream of light started above your head, went through your head, through the neck, through the chest, the belly, down the back, down into the legs, through the knees. All of this light just streaming down and through, all the way down into your feet, pulling all of the extra, almost again as if it's just brushing it all down, just brushing it down, pulling it down, letting it all just flow all the way down to the feet, all the way out the bottom of the feet, letting that golden light go all the way down into the ground, taking all of that with it, all the way down into the ground. And perhaps even again, feeling that pulling from the top of the head, through the head, through the neck, and the shoulders, and the back, and the chest, and the belly, the abdomen, the hips, the legs, the knees, the feet, pulling it all the way down. And there at the bottom, all that is left is just that golden light. And it can go from the ground back up into your feet, through your legs, into your belly, back up into your chest, filling it all the way up into your throat, all the way up into your head, all the way above your head. And the stream of light that went all the way down, down, down into the ground. And then it comes back up, all the way back up, pulling all of it up, all this golden light. Filling your whole body all the way up through the top of your head, all the way up higher, so that all that is left is all this golden light. That's it. You might notice a flow, either the up or the down, or you might notice just this moment, just light, filling all the way through. Or again, you might notice everything going every which way, and that's okay too. And if you are in that place of just noticing all the golden light, perhaps noticing the center of the head, center of the chest, center of the belly, and pulling up from the belly through the chest, through the head, all the way out the top of the head. All of it, just this, right here. Just breathing. Simply noticing what's here. Perhaps noticing where your attention wants to rest. Today, mine wants to rest right there in my chest. Almost as if there's this bobbing point of light right here in all of the light. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Nothing to figure out, nothing to change. For myself, I notice the longer I just stay right there, the thicker it feels. That light feels thick and solid until it gets to that place of just all of it, that crystal structure. It's like, yes, that it's not going to blow away. It's just here. And then releasing the image. Just breathing. Checking in with where you are now at this point. Noticing your physical sensations, your thoughts, emotions. Maybe even just that little bit of gratitude towards yourself. Giving yourself this gift of quieting down, tuning in, just allowing yourself to see yourself, just as you are in this moment. That gift of being present to yourself. Taking a few more breaths. And when you feel ready, opening your eyes.